Hello, this is Handsome Jack of Have Gas Will Travel. This is for the Blacktop Boondocker. I watched your video here a few minutes ago. In fact, I still got it on the TV. But you were talking about, could the Class A be the better choice RV? I think so, and I'll tell you why. And everything that I say here on this video, although it's most of it's pointed directly at you, it's for other people that might be considering Class C or Class A. And I'm just going to put in my 2 cents worth. It's not golden or anything like that. It's just observations that I've had. And starting right out with the Class C, you said everything you looked at, a lot of them had leaks and stuff. And I don't doubt that a bit, because you got that big overhang over top the cab on most of them, or at least all of them I've seen have the big overhang there. You're talking, then some of them are like 6 foot. Well, that's a lot of friggin' weight hanging over that cab. And I think what happens is, when you're going down the road with that thing, of course the roads aren't smooth, especially here in New York. They're really rough. It works that section that's hanging out there, and what it does is it loosens up. I think it loosens the seams on them, because they all seem to leak on that front seam. And my daughter and son-in-law had one that leaked in the same spot, but I think it's from bouncing down all these rough roads, and I think that's what opens them up. And another thing that I don't like about the Class C, and I mean, it probably doesn't bother a lot of people. Me, it kind of bothered. When you're sitting in that driver's seat, it seems like you got this whole mess over top you, just waiting to come down. I feel kind of, I'm not really claustrophobic in there, but that's kind of what it feels like. But anyway, that's enough about the Class C's. You're looking for a Class A, you think. On the video you said you didn't want diesel, you wanted gas. In my opinion, the diesel's better, but that's my opinion and not yours. A couple reasons I like the diesel better. Number one, super quiet. The diesel's in the back, you don't hear it. Number two, I get sick of stepping over that stupid hump in the middle of the floor where the engine is all the time, and it can be a pain. And with the diesel engine, we may have to change the filters a little more often, but you have no plugs to change or any of that stuff. I mean, the diesels seem to run forever. With the gas, once they get up there in mileage a little bit, you said you're going to run it. Once they get up there in mileage a little bit, then the engine's going to start giving trouble, because after all, the gas, diesel's made to run 1,000,000 miles. Gas, 180, 200,000, and in a car, I don't know about a motorhome, but that would be my reason for going with diesel over gas. That's just something I threw in there. I know you said you wanted gas. Oh, another thing with the gas ones, and I watch a lot of people on YouTube that subscribe to me that have the Class A gas ones, and one thing I've noticed in almost every one, when they're running the gas ones, when they're going down the highway, you can hear that dash moving on almost all the videos. You can hear the squeaks and creaks. Whereas on the diesel, the dash is built all the way to the floor on most of them, so it's a solid unit, and you don't get that. And I just think, I don't know, I'm partial to diesel, that's all. One other thing with the diesel, most of them, your door is up front. In the gas, it's right in the middle of the friggin' RV, taking up a ton of wall space, which I think could be better used for something else. They put the door up front. The reason they don't do it in the gas ones, you got the hump in the middle, so they can't. But that's so much for diesel to gas. Anyway, I think you're looking a little small. I've watched quite a few of your videos. In fact, I think I've mentioned your name a couple times on a couple of videos I made. Because you're one of the ones I watch. And you need, I think you're going a little bit small. I'd say this one that we've got is a 33-footer, Class A gas. And like I said, we're going to trade it in, but I think it's a little easier to take care of if it's a little bit bigger. And especially with a family, you're not quite so cramped. Like I said, it'll work for you. You'll make it work for you, no matter what you end up getting. But consider the diesel. If nothing else, just take a look and at the things that I've told you about and see how that works out. Anyway, as far as problems go, the one that we're in is a 1997 Coachman. It's got a few issues, but as far as expense for taking care of, we live in it full time. We've been in it for 4.5 months now. Time kind of flies. I can't never remember exactly how long we've been in it, but we've been in it for a while, and we live in it full time. And the thing that I've found is it's kind of like a fish tank in a way. I used to raise tanks of fish and sell to the local pet stores and stuff. And I started out with small tanks so I could raise 10 or 12 different kinds. And what I found out was when I went to the bigger tanks, they were easier to take care of. Same with an RV. I think it'd be easier to take care of if it was just a little bit bigger, because then you do have room to occasionally lay something down without somebody having to move it so they can sit down. As far as the refrigerator, the stove, the microwave, all that stuff's original in here. It all still works. There's no reason it shouldn't. I mean, refrigerators do give out. Gas, there's very little to go wrong with a gas stove or the oven. Microwave, easy to replace, so that doesn't mean much. The coach itself is in good shape, really good shape. I've had no trouble with that other than a few light bulbs. Basically, the only thing we've really had a problem with is the slide. We got a leak in a hose, which I was supposed to have fixed and didn't. But we're going to tackle that here in the next week or so. One problem I did have is down where the batteries and everything are, and the tank for the slide out. And I don't know if you're going to get a slide or not, but it's one of the fuses when they've got little inline fuses on the wires, and one of the fuses, when it was pushed down in there, a 2-blade fuse that goes down in, it didn't hit the other side of the part that is supposed to slide into it, just went against the outside of it. Well, one day here, when we got back here last week, I went to slide it out. The slides wouldn't work. The levelers on it would not go down. And I don't know how long that fuse has been like that. I don't know how long it had been like that. I know it's been like that ever since we've had the RV. All of a sudden it decided it wasn't going to make contact. Because I had taken all the fuses out and checked them. They all checked good, and when I put it back in, it went right back in the same position that it was. And a friend of mine who was helping me happened to notice. He says, hey, that's not going in the holder right. So once he did that, this thing, no problems at all. If you're going to buy one, make sure it's got newer, decent tires on it. Don't buy something that's got tires that are 6 or 7 years old. The tires are date coded, because that'll set you back a couple grand right there just buying tires for one of these things. On top of, you think you got a good deal, and the next thing you know, you're buying tires. And if you get a really good deal and the tires are bad, it's no big deal. You can afford to put the tires on it. These are just things that I'm pointing out that we got lucky with this one. It had brand new tires on it when we got it. The guy just brought it up from Florida to New York, and he had put tires on before he came up. As far as other problems go, we haven't really had. As long as everything works when you buy it, there's no reason it shouldn't work, at least for a few years. I know some guys have had trouble with their refrigerators, but this is the original refrigerator in this, and it still works great. It works on gas or electric, and it works just fine. The only issue I had was, which is nothing really, we had to change the kitchen faucet because that thing there would not shut off. It kept dripping, and if it drips if you're using we use our water tank on the RV all the time. I just fill it and we use the water out of that. I like to keep it that way. It keeps it clean and circulated all the time. And the faucet dripped, and what happened was the pump was turning on every 20 minutes or so and building pressure back up because the faucet was letting it out. But that stuff you're going to find. I don't care if you've got a brand new RV. There's going to be some things like that you're just going to have to do. It's just like owning a house. It is a house. So other than that, we've had no problems at all. Like I said, the big things are, and another thing you might want to look for is, which everybody says, look for around the corners of the roofs and inside the covers, and make sure there's been no water damage. Pull your awning out. Check the awning. You want the RV in the sun, so when you're looking through that awning, because a lot of these awnings, ours looks like it's in really great shape, but there are little tiny pinholes in it in spots, just from age. It's the original awning that came on this in 1997. Other than that, take it for a ride, see how it handles. If it doesn't handle right, have them check it. I think the diesel handles a lot better because it's set up different. But other than that, I don't know. As far as RVs go, that's what we're looking for, like a 2000 or 2004. That seems to be the point where they changed them a little bit. They started putting these slide outs on, which are really nice. It just gives you that much more. You'd be surprised how much more room that gives you. But that's when they kind of updated them a little bit. But if you hunt around, there's some great deals on from like 2000 to 2006. You can get a really good deal just by hunting around. You may have to get it from a private owner. If you're going to a dealer, you're going to pay more for the same RV you would buy from somebody private. You're probably going to pay at least an extra 10 grand. But then again, there should be some sort of warranty with it. So if there is a problem, you can get it fixed. We had a problem with a hot water heater on this right after we got it. And the generator quit. They took great care of it because we had a 30-day warranty, which is all they give on these used coaches. Now, if you're buying something a lot newer, which you said you were going to stay around 2000, maybe the warranty's more. I don't know, but that's what we got was 30 days. And like I said, there was only a couple, 3 things wrong, and they fixed everything, so there was no problem there. So I don't know. I hope this helps you a little bit. I may have jumped around a little bit. Like I said, I know you're looking for gas. I prefer the diesel, and I gave you the reasons why. The main thing was the door on the side, and the quiet with the motor being in the back. You'd be surprised. But you might want to think about looking at like a 33. Just to give you that little bit of extra room, plus the room underneath. And if you got a family, which from your videos, I'm sure you do. I watch so many videos, sometimes I get different people confused, but I'm pretty sure you're the one with the family. Take a look, see it, and I don't think, sometimes the smaller RVs cost more than the bigger ones. So if you go a little bit bigger, you might get a little better deal too. I don't know. We just scour everything. We look all over for one. Like you said, you're not afraid to travel with it. If it's a decent deal, you should be able to find something well within your price range, and it shouldn't be a whole lot of money. But all right, well, I hope this helps you a little bit, or maybe it'll help somebody else. I don't know. Anyway, this is Handsome Jack. Have Gas Will Travel, and let me know what you think. Bye for now.